If you folks didn't notice, if you were living under a rock, we are in a new studio.
How about it?
How about it? And I can honestly say that I like this one better than the one we had before.
It's not even close.
Yeah.
A little biased, but
Yeah.
Jersey's sick.
It's a damn cool. Anthony,
No, but legit, that blue is cool.
Yeah, it's the alternate.
Yeah.
just ignore the name, and then it's really cool.
Yeah, if you just look.
Just wait.
And, like, if you squint your eyes and just imagine it's a Peyton Manning jersey.
Right.
Oh,
But if
right,
he was
yeah.
Or
number 5.
McAfee.
Yeah.
Like, it's fine. Yeah, new stage.
Adrian James or something.
The lighting is good. Ooh, yeah. Edge.
The lighting is good. The camera quality should be better. Let's just hope that I don't. Yeah, I can't check the camera quality now
Yeah.
because I'm not.
New tech.
New tech. Yeah.
You know, this is where it all started.
This is where it all started.
started.
Before
Yeah.
we had video.
Life.
Yeah.
And the podcast.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Well,
not
not
for
you.
me.
Me.
Yeah,
I was the
yeah.
only one.
Yeah. No, yeah.
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 Yeah, we moved here when Mom was pregnant with me.
Yeah, that's right.
True.
I was 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where it all started.
Where it all started. Yeah. But I guess we'll take a little house tour real quick. But
Basement tour.
basement tour.
Yeah.
So this is obviously my corner here. I got all my Oregon stuff here behind me. The Ducks. I'm just coated and stuff. Bucky Irving jersey up there. We got it for Christmas this winter. Got everything Oregon behind me. We got some old video games that I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it because of our computers, but
True.
we got like NFL Street 3, NCAA. We got
Backyard football.
Backyard football. Shout out. Madden 10 was the first Madden we ever had. Kind of got us into football. Over there, Carson got his Jaden Daniels jersey. Jaden got a whole shit ton of Pittsburgh stuff. Cody's got his Lynn Swan jersey up there,
Yep.
Got my college baby Palamalu jersey.
Yep.
like youth medium or something.
My Home Depot gloves from the Pat McAfee
Penn State
college game day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Clemson stuff. Carson's a
Yeah.
big Clemson guy.
Yeah.
Joe, of course, had to bring him home.
Yeah.
Yeah. Book about ball in general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ball.
Just ball.
Yeah. That's
Great place. We got the old Pac-12 mini helmets up here.
We need some other mini helmets, but that's what I had.
Yeah, it's
know,
quite the
Oregon.
lineup.
We've actually got some
Oregon?
cool,
Cool sipper cups.
yeah,
Cool glassware
glasses.
here, yeah.
Sick.
Can't drink out of them.
Yeah.
That is
So I'm told.
unsafe.
Yeah.
Unsafe to drink out of them. But yeah. Guess we'll
And
just start.
on top of all this, new studio, new setup and everything, what better episode to do it than on episode 69, baby? Come on.
Nice. Very nice. Absolutely. Very nice.
Couldn't be better. Well said. Couldn't have said it better myself. Yeah, we got a whole bunch. That covers it.
Yeah, that's it.
Cool setup.
Mm-hmm.
All right, yeah, episode 69.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get into it. Today, we're recording on New Day now. This will be weekend recordings.
Yeah.
So today is February 16th, Sunday, 2025. And like I said, episode 69. I'm with Kean Crop, Carson Crop. I'm Cody Crop. We're going to get right back into it. This week, we're going to be going over the Super Bowl that I'm sure everyone saw and is talking about. We're going to be going over some Chris Collinsworth glaze from that said Super Bowl. We're going to be doing a segment about the NFL Coaching Carousel where we'll be talking about all the new coaches around the league because that's running rampant as it does every single year. And bringing back our OG segment called Apparently, where we talk about the NFL rumors and goings-on of the NFL world and all the news and such. So, yeah, Super Bowl, whatever it was, 59.
Licks.
Yeah,
Super Bowl LIX.
Super Bowl LIX
Yeah.
review. Obviously, the Chiefs lost to the Eagles in an absolute shellacking by the Eagles that America can all get behind if you're a red-blooded American. Yeah, Eagles beat the Chiefs 40-22, but it wasn't even that close the whole game. Chiefs made some plays in the end to make it closer, but the game was already in the bag. Some people thought at halftime. Some people like me were nervous, and it's like, hey, Chiefs is still the Chiefs. Not this game. Not today. They just didn't have it. Couldn't put it together. Finally faced a defense that was legit. And, I mean, that was basically that. They were snuffing Saquon Barkley all game long, and that was clearly their main focus, even when they were down 27 points. They were like, all right, we still got to stop Saquon and not worry about Jalen Hurts running it for as much as he wanted or throwing it for as much as he wanted. And, yeah, that's it in a nutshell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'm sure everybody saw the game that's watching this, so I'm not even going to talk about that. But my biggest question that I have here is, does this ruin Mahomes' legacy for greatest of all time? Because I think it absolutely does. Tom Brady has 3 Super Bowl losses, each of which, when he left the field in the fourth quarter, he was leading.
Oof.
Mahomes, the 2 Super Bowls he's lost by a combined 40 points. And this one was by 18, should have been by way more. In Mahomes' defense, he shouldn't have even been here in this game because they didn't have the team to be here, and they just kept getting lucky all year, and things kept working out when if Tom Brady didn't have a good team, he just probably didn't make the Super Bowl. So Tom Brady was probably only there when he should be there, and Mahomes was outmatched here.
Yeah, I can definitely see. Yeah, I can see that. I mean, the confounding variable is everything that kind of happened. I mean, the offensive line just completely took a shit, and it had been just like over this course of the year, like guys started getting hurt and stuff, but like still, it should have never been this bad. I mean, throughout the course of the year, the Eagles, it's not like the Eagles' defensive line was something to be super scared of. Obviously, everybody knew Jalen Carter. Jalen Carter was like the one-man wrecking crew the whole way through the playoffs. But like you didn't hear anything from Josh Sweat this year until this game. Yeah. Josh Sweat legacy game. Milton Williams put on a show himself too. So it's like because they were constantly doubling Jalen Carter, they let this other guys fall through. But like you had their starting left guard Joe Tooney. He's been forced to play left tackle, which is not an ideal situation because left guard and left tackle aren't exactly the same position. But yeah, to go back to your topic about like your question, is this? I think this at least sets him back. Like, I think that if he would have won this game and three-peated with the Chiefs, then everybody would have been like, oh, greatest of all time. But now that, like, this happened, it's like, ugh.
Disdain.
That thing was kind of – that team was kind of held together by, like, bubble gum and duct tape.
Yeah.
And it's like –
yeah, no one thought they should be there.
No, it's black magic is what we were talking about all year because that's what was happening. I mean, it's not like they were playing great all year. Everybody could see it. Like, we didn't have them ranked first in our power rankings. I still think that, like, the Lions were probably the best team in the NFL.
Yeah.
It just didn't work out that way because it's hard to get back to the Super Bowl year after year after year. You need some luck. And the Chiefs had that luck this year. Not to say that they played completely terrible. They only lost 2 games this year. Actually, really only lost 1 because that last loss was against against Bo Nix. Remember they had
Carson Wentz.
Yeah, Carson Wentz, exactly. So like Mahomes only lost 1 game this year. But, like, still, there was so much luck in there that you just can't deny. And, I mean, hindsight's 20/20 because the Eagles' roster up and down, outside of quarterback, the Eagles had the advantage at every single position. And it should have just been like, yeah, Eagles are the better team. They're going to win this game. But, like, obviously, Cody and I did not think that.
No. That's okay. I'm okay to be wrong here.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
Yeah, nobody thought that. The Chiefs were favored by 1.5 going into the game. So
crazy. Yeah.
It's just the Mahomes effect. You think that Mahomes and Andy Reid, they're going to be able to do something with nothing because they usually
always do. Yeah.
But this game today just didn't have an answer.
No, not at all. Philly's defense was lights out this game. I mean, we can talk about the defensive line getting pressure from the Eagles. The defensive line of the Eagles getting pressure on Mahomes, but that's just because Mahomes was holding the ball because they were the defense. The Philly back end was locking down all game long and making Mahomes hold the ball, and you can't do that against this defensive line. They're just too good.
Yeah, that was so Mahomes was sacked 6 times, pressured 17 times out of 42 dropbacks.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I saw a stat. Mahomes was pressured 38.3% of the time or something like that in this game. C.J. Stroud, on average this season, has been pressured 39.2% of the time. So either way, C.J. Stroud's been pressured more all season long.
Man.
And C.J. Stroud, he didn't look great this year. Never looked this bad though.
Definitely not. No.
But yeah, we got to shout out the defensive backs on this team. First of all, Cooper DeJean.
Baby.
Hang on, that's the next segment. I'm sure.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, we'll wait on that then. Whenever we're glazing some guys, but I don't think any of us are gonna really talk about the Chiefs as like players of the game because I mean like they didn't win. But let me just say Xavier Worthy he's absolutely turned into the wide receiver 1 of this team, at least in the playoffs. Like he admittedly sucked throughout most of the year. But in this game he went 8 receptions for 157 yards and 2 touchdowns. 1 long bomb from Mahomes that was probably his best throw of the day, 50 yards down the field. That I know, talking to some guys at work, got some guys pissed because like you can bet on longest reception in the game, and Devontae Smith had it with that 46-yarder up until the end of the game. Whenever Xavier Worthy from out of left field, just 50-yarder down the field, caught it, and he ran it in for a touchdown. But he had a great game. He had a great just playoff run. Now we don't really know how the receiving core in Kansas City is going to like shake out once Rashee Rice comes back. Don't know if they're going to bring back Hollywood Brown. Travis Kelce, is he going to be there? What do you guys think? Like, is it? That's a good question. Is this Travis Kelce's last game?
No.
Oh no.
I don't think so. Doesn't feel like it to me.
Don't think he can go out like that.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm also gonna say no. I mean, maybe if he had a good game, maybe.
Maybe, yeah.
I don't think he's gonna want to get shut down for his last game.
We have 2 drops.
Yeah.
Yeah, held out
He
out of the
he
box.
He ball too much.
Yeah, he seemed too pissed. I'm with you guys. I don't think he's done. He seemed too pissed off to like call it quits. Like I don't think he can just get pissed off and then go off into the night like. Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd bug him forever.
Yeah.
Other guys on that Chiefs team, Drew Tranquil had a hell of a game. 11 total tackles, 7 solo, 1 sack, 2 tackles for loss. And he's been a kind of a low-key stud all year, but this game he really was one of the shining bright spots of that Kansas City defense, even though they were seemingly getting cooked all game. But he was having a heck of a game. He was all over the field.
I don't know if anybody else saw it, but just a funny thing, not really about the Chiefs. It's obviously about the Eagles, but number 97, Moro Ojomo, at one point during the end of the game.
Is he all right? Have we checked in on him?
Where's he at?
Was he at the parade?
It was hilarious, but he went to go tackle the ball carrier. It was one of the Chiefs running backs, and he just basically got tackled by his own man, hit right in the head, like sideswiped right in the head.
Bad.
Moro Ojomo went down, and he like got up kind of stumbling, really slow. And he made his way back to the defensive huddle. And we're like all watching. We're like, this guy should definitely be taken out of the game.
Yeah.
He's like slowly getting down into his stance, and like before he can even get down, the play starts, and he just basically stands up and like just leans on the offensive line, and then they like chuck it out in the flat, and the guy runs out of bounds, whoever caught it. And so then he starts running. He's just like naturally, whenever that pass happened, he started running like towards the ball. He was running toward the sideline, and I think it was Xavier Worthy out there. He caught the ball, handed it back to the ref, started to walk back to the Chiefs huddle. Moro Ojomo comes running over and gives him a high five before running off the field.
In.
Oh, it might have been.
I think it was Pacheco coming in. Yeah.
Either way, like the Chiefs player was not looking for a high five. He was just like casually like walking and swinging his arms, and Moro Ojomo, as concussed as he was in that moment, just like reached his hand down, slapped his hand, and kept walking.
We hope you're all right, Moro. I mean, I don't know where you were going. I don't know if you're going to the right side.
Even if he was aware of what he was doing, it's still funny because he's just being a dick.
Yeah, that's awesome,
High five of the Chiefs guy.
And the Chiefs guy like led into it. Or fed into it.
He's probably so confused.
Yeah, he's like, I'll give you a high five. All right. Maybe he was running to the Chiefs sideline. We don't know.
We know that. Yeah, and we didn't see him for the rest of the game after that.
Yeah.
No, I hope I were at 9-7. I mean, that was a shot.
But that was an awesome moment.
Yeah, awesome moment. I thought it was a good game, even though some people thought it was a stinker. But I enjoyed the Philly Eagles beating the crap out of them.
Yeah.
Entertaining to watch.
Yeah, it wasn't in the way we expected because,
No,
as
not
you
at all.
said, Saquon, 25 carries for 57 yards, a long rush on the day of 10 yards.
Yeah,
That
unusual.
was unlike Saquon for the entire season. He did still break the single-season rushing record, now postseason included, so like it's kind of some bullshit. But but he did still rush for the most yards in NFL history, so props to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was all Jalen Hurts, 72 rushing yards for him, 221 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, only sacked twice, even though he held onto the ball for an average of 3.6 seconds. That's crazy. Because his line gave him all day.
So much. Yeah, good protection.
Yeah,
All
the
game.
offensive line was definitely healthy, I would say.
Yeah, I'd say they were looking pretty good. Yeah.
Um,
Chiefs had no answer. That was it. They couldn't get anything going at all. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Let's glaze some folks from this game with that good old Chris Collinsworth glaze. All right, Carson, you hinted it. Who you glazing this week?
That's actually me blue balling you guys because
Ooh.
I'm not
I like
glazing
that.
him.
On this episode 69, you're going to do that?
Yeah, I am, yeah.
Blue
So
ball.
I'm kind of cheating the system here, but I'm going to glaze the entire Eagles coaching staff.
Oh,
They
yeah.
instilled a great game plan. They shut down Travis Kelce, kept Mahomes in the pocket so that he can't be as dangerous as he usually is outside the pocket. They got the offensive pass game going when they most needed it to because Saquon was getting shut down. And most importantly, I think they had their team play disciplined. Because I saw these clips of the game. It's like Travis Kelce was always trying to, aggravate people, CJGJ, whatnot, getting up in their face. But I don't know if you guys saw a clip or not. Whenever Travis Kelce came up to him, CJGJ just put his hands behind his back.
Yeah,
stare down. I'm like, that is so unlike him.
It's very unlike
so
him.
They have him disciplined. Travis Kelce was also coming up to like Jalen Carter and trying to pick a fight, and Jalen Carter was just like, "Who are you?"
Yeah,
they just avoided cheap penalties, played smart, and they did their assignment. And that's why these guys like Milton Williams, Josh Sweat, Cooper DeJean, Zach Bond, nothing against them, but I mean, some of them had flash plays throughout the year, but they all showed up in this game because of this Eagles coaching staff. They were hitting the film room hard. They knew exactly what was coming. They knew exactly what they had to do. Everyone did their role, and that's why they were so dominant.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Cody, you want to go ahead?
Yeah, I was going to glaze good old Josh Sweat just because you haven't heard about him all year, and then he comes out of nowhere. I mean, unless you're going to take him with a little sub to like Milton Williams too. Both those guys, they were getting talked about in the game because, yeah, they've kind of been quiet all year just because there's so many studs on that defensive line. But then these guys come out and have a heck of a game when they need to because of what you talked about with Jalen Carter getting doubled and their Eagles secondary having a really good day, being able to give their line time to get to Mahomes. Josh Sweat ended with 6 total tackles, 2 solo, 2.5 sacks, and 2 tackles for loss, and another 3 QB hits. Milton Williams was 4 total tackles, 3 solo, 2 sacks, 2 tackles for loss, and a QB hit. So they were really picking up any slack from their guys that were getting doubled, and they had like awesome games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they combined for 11 pressures between the two of them.
Unbelievable.
So I guess I got to talk about the exciting white.
You do.
We can't leave this podcast, this review, without talking about Cooper DeJean. I mean, on the game, he had. Everybody's going to always remember that pick six on Patrick Mahomes.
Always.
It was a thing of beauty. NFL Films already came out with an edited version of like the radio call and like the different angles. And
awesome, man.
You could hear the sound effects on the field, what they were all saying. It was a beautiful moment. But yeah, that's really it, man. He was just locking down people all game long. He had a 91.0 coverage grade according to PFF in this game, and you could really see it. And he was, as a slot corner, he was like, let me go see. I think he was the highest graded corner out of all cornerbacks on the year according to PFF.
That's wild.
I think I saw that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
He had an amazing season. He didn't even start all year. They didn't have him starting at the beginning of the season, but he just really came in and put on a show. He really locked down the slot corner position while they had Slay and Quinion on the outside. Just amazing secondary that they have.
Man,
like that is like I know that everybody remembers the no fly zone. What do they call the Seahawks?
12th man.
No, the 12th man. No, Legion of Boom.
Legion of Boom.
The actual defense.
Yeah,
Sherman,
Richard Sherman, Cam Chancellor on the back end, Earl Thomas,
Yeah.
all those guys. That was an amazing secondary, but I don't know. This one is deep. You got Cooper DeJean in the slot. You got Darius Slay, Quinion Mitchell on the outside. You got Reed Blankenship in the back. You got C.J. Gardner-Johnson in the back.
Man.
That is crazy.
You've got like both ends of the spectrum. The most studly rookies and like some of the most studly seasoned vets.
Darius Slay is 34 years
Slay
old.
and CJGJ are obviously well into their NFL careers and still playing great football.
They are.
And then these incredible young guns, it's a force to be reckoned with.
2 rookies, that's scary. I saw Slay said he has 1 more year.
So
He's retired.
Dude, he's going to be, at the end of next season, he's going to be 35 years old as a starting cornerback.
That's
and
insane.
he still played amazing this year. He still played really, really well. As a 34-year-old guy, it's crazy.
Yeah, I remember when Patrick Peterson tried to do that. That didn't work out for him.
I don't even think, is Pat Pete even that old?
Nah, I feel like he was like probably 32 or 33.
Yeah, he was.
Anyway.
That's probably what he was.
He's 35 now.
So,
So
like 33.
Yeah.
Back in 2023, he would have been 33 for that season.
Still.
Yeah, but
Crazy.
it's just an impressive job all around by, well, for one thing, Cooper DeJean, but just the whole entire secondary. Mahomes couldn't find anybody all game long, and it was awesome to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get into we're going to talk about those NFL the 2024 NFL season awards. the award show that they did, the NFL Honors Award show that they did right before the Super Bowl. So, MVP this year was the year one and only Bills quarterback Josh Allen this year. What do you guys think? Deserved?
I have another question for you guys.
Okay.
Sure.
So if Josh Allen already has 2 MVPs, Lamar has 0. Does Lamar win this award instead of Josh? Because I think so.
I've been asked that question too.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Just stats-wise, Lamar killed him in every category, but the only reason I could see Josh getting this award is because the team around him is...
Well, he was more valuable to his team.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
mean, honestly, that's very possible. That's probably not how it should be.
Yeah.
But it'd be hard not to vote that way if you're an AP voter.
Yeah, it is like it does kind of suck because sometimes these awards are like kind of narrative based whenever they shouldn't be. But Josh Allen would have had my vote regardless of how many MVPs Lamar has won already. Just because, yeah, like Cody said, he's just more valuable to his team. He had less help around him. I mean, you're comparing James Cook, who is still like I'd say he's a fringe. He's probably around the middle of pack running back. We'll say that.
Yeah, 20
and
to
then
30.
you got Derrick Henry with Lamar.
Yeah.
You have, I mean, obviously Lamar's rushing upside is he runs in a different way than Josh Allen, but he racks up more yards doing it. So I just think that and like the receiving core. I would much rather have like a great tight end and Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely. Now I know that the Bills also kind of have that, but those tight ends, Dalton Kincaid has at least been a disappointment thus far through his NFL career. And Josh Allen doesn't have a number one receiver. Like I would take Zay Flowers over any of the Bills receivers. Lamar, I guess, didn't have him for the playoffs, but I guess I'm a Zay Flowers guy.
Right.
But I would take Zay Flowers. I just think that whenever you just take a look at the whole picture, see how much Josh Allen had to do this year just to get the Bills to this amazing season that they had that I didn't expect they were going to get. I thought they were going to miss the playoffs, honestly. And he just went out there and put up a show. But I can definitely see how, like, I've definitely heard that question before where it's like, is this like he deserves one eventually kind of award? Or
Well, it's just whenever you're watching Bills games compared to, say, Ravens games, obviously, because we're talking about Lamar, but whenever you're watching Bills games and the Bills need a comeback, like, you know what's going to happen. It happens every time. Like, Josh Allen, like, clearly just does it himself. Lamar will do it himself because he's clutch and can do that, but Lamar is seemingly better because he might have better weapons around him at, like, extending plays to get it to his weapons instead of just, like, relying on himself.
Right.
It's tough to explain, but I think they got it right this year.
I agree.
Regardless. I mean, Josh Allen had my vote by far. Offensive player of the year was Eagles running back Saquon Barkley, which, in my opinion, easy pick.
yeah, it'd be either between him or Jamar Chase, but there were times where Saquon just took over a game and it like led them to wins whenever the rest of the offense wasn't doing shit. So.
Yeah.
Yep.
Another question. So, next season, if he gets another 2,000 yards, that's the first player ever to have 2 consecutive seasons with 2,000-plus rushing yards. Is that going to be him?
No.
You don't think so?
No, it just won't happen like that. I can feel. I hate saying this, but he's due for an injury.
Oh, no.
That dude had almost 500 touches this year. You can't it just like
I don't know if he'll get to 2K again.
It's been
next year.
proven that like after having that many touches, like time after time after time, like you're just not as good the next year unless you're Derrick Henry.
Was he the fantasy running back 1?
Yeah,
Do you think he's going to be...
the 101?
No, because I think there's a stat it's like the RB1 has never been the same for 2 consecutive years since like Jamal Charles or something.
I feel like I've heard that.
So, with that in consideration, I'm a big guy on trends. I think it might follow the trend. I don't know who it's going to be, but I don't think it's going to be him. Because I think he's going to miss at least like 2 or 3 games probably with something.
Maybe. Yeah, there's a good chance.
As of right now, here's the running back rankings for next year. So Saquon is obviously number 1, Bijan 2, Christian McCaffrey 3, Jahmyr Gibbs 4, Jonathan Taylor 5, Breece Hall 6, and then Ashton Genty number 7. Not even on a team yet.
Huh. That makes sense.
Yeah, I just
now it makes sense.
He just took such a beating this year. I just don't.
I don't know if he'll
NFL's
reach
tough.
2K again. I don't know if he'll reach 2K again next year. I think he'll be up there.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
I think his Vegas line's like right around 1,600.
Wow.
1,565 maybe.
Wow. Huh.
Okay. Pretty
I mean,
low.
if there's anybody who could do it,
I'd take the over.
if there's anybody who could do it, it would be him. It just his injury history scares me.
Yeah.
He's rejuvenated. He's fine. All right, defensive player of the year was Broncos corner Pastertain the second.
Yeah, this one was like man, there's really no clear defensive player of the year candidate this year. There's nobody who is like a game wrecker all year long. This is just kind of Pastertain was like a steady Eddie, best corner in the league, kind of.
He had a great year.
Yes, he was. Like, he didn't put up crazy stats, but like whenever you think about like, well, who is the best just overall defender this year? I think you can definitely put his name in there.
Yeah.
But it just kind of felt like one where it was like, yeah, there wasn't anybody who had like a crazy amount of sacks besides Trey Hendrickson did, which like he could. I don't know. Once again, like narrative based, like you didn't win that many games. So it's like Trey Hendrickson's like, well, I had no help around me.
Yeah.
So, but Pastertain, I feel like definitely deserves it. He was the best corner in the league this year, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
Just shut down.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. What do you guys think?
I agree with it. I mean, I don't hate it at all just because, like, I completely agree with what you said. There wasn't a easy standout this year, seemingly. Didn't feel like it.
Yeah, it's a very I guess choice.
Well, he's there.
Yeah.
Coach of the year was Vikings head coach Kevin O'Connell, KOC.
Yeah.
You're going to
I
get some
agree with
praise if you can Sam Darnold look great.
Yeah.
Make Sam Darnold look great. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree with this one here.
I do too. He's a great coach.
Yes. Yeah. Because
Incredible
he did it with Kirk Cousins. Gave Kirk Cousins his best years of his career.
Yeah.
And then we saw Kirk Cousins kind of fell off a cliff this year.
Yeah.
But
and he's going to fall off of a roster, I believe, too.
yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll get to that probably eventually. Then,
Assistant coach of the year.
assistant coach of the year, Lions OC Ben Johnson.
I've been saying this forever. Ben Johnson is the Lions. Dan Campbell is not the Lions. Well, Dan Campbell is the Lions, but Ben Johnson is what makes the Lions happen, good.
Oh yeah,
Ben Johnson is the brain behind this operation. Dan Campbell's only a hype guy. He doesn't provide anything other than hype and culture.
I respectfully disagree. We'll talk about this in a little bit because we'll talk about where these guys are going, like Ben Johnson and who Dan Campbell had to hire because Ben Johnson is gone. But yeah, we'll talk about this in a little bit.
Offensive rookie of the year, Commanders QB Jaden
Yeah.
Daniels.
Let's go. Yeah, this shouldn't be arguable.
Not even a question.
Yeah.
Easy pick. Well deserved.
But Bucky Irving wasn't even in the top 5 running. Now, there were a lot of good rookies this year. But, you know how they make the top 5 and they make the voters
It's a quarterback thing.
Yeah, it is. It's sad.
Yep, unfortunately. Next year he can be.
There were a lot of
rookie
good
the year.
receivers. So it was like Malik Neighbors, Brian Thomas Jr.
Yeah, Brock Bowers and Malik Neighbors both broke a record.
Yeah.
Bo Nix was looking pretty good.
Yeah, Bo Nix was in there too. Yeah.
Yep. Lost
Good class. Good class.
class for this year at least. We'll see.
Yeah.
Defensive rookie of the year was Rams edge Jared Verse.
Yeah.
Like we said it would.
Yeah. Beautiful.
I mean, there's nothing to say about this guy. He's all over the field. We've glazed him all year long.
Yeah, he's a game wrecker already. I remember watching in that what was that divisional round? Eagles versus Rams? That was wild. Yeah, because the Rams beat the Vikings in the wild card. Yeah, so divisional round game. I remember there were multiple plays where Jared Verse was lined up against Jordan Mailata, one of the best left tackles in the game, and he just about put him on his ass.
He's so angry.
His bull rush is crazy. Yeah. What Jared Verse can do as a 260-pound guy against 330 pounders
shouldn't be possible.
He definitely earned this. Yeah, I completely agree with this. Love Jared Verse.
Yeah, and his speech was good at the NFL honors ceremony. He was shouting out all his fellow rookies and old teammates and stuff. It was cool. I like him a lot.
He's a good guy.
Good beard too.
Yeah,
Real
it's
good
very
beard.
It's very thick.
Yeah, it's full. Comeback player of the year was Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow. I don't know about this award in general. It's kind of they did change the outline of this, so it makes sense that Joe Burrow got it because of his injuries and things like that. So I guess I don't disagree with it. I don't have anyone else you'd give it to, I guess. But this one's always kind of weird to me. I don't know how to think about it.
Yeah.
This comeback player of the year award.
DeMar Hamlin was up for the running again.
Really?
Yeah. He's actually starting and playing this year, though.
Yeah.
He made some plays in the playoffs.
He did. Yeah, he played good. I don't know. Yeah.
But yeah, Joe Burrow had a quieter, great year. Probably maybe the best year of his career because the team sucked. Nobody's really talking about it. Yeah. But Joe Burrow was great this year, so I don't disagree with this.
Yep. Okay, so let's get into the NFL coaching carousel. We're going to be grading all the hires this year. There's been quite a few this offseason. So we'll start with, obviously, some of the bigger ones that guys have heard about. But the Bears hired Lions OC Ben Johnson as their head coach.
Kian is about to rip on this guy for something, but I'm giving this hire an A+. Come on now. Caleb Williams needs help, and this is the guy to do it. He makes Jared Goff look good, and he knows how to get the running game going, most importantly, which is the best help a rookie quarterback can have, a young, inexperienced quarterback. Who they bring in for running back, I don't know, but I'm excited because I think they're going to bring in somebody. They might keep Swift and have a 1-2 punch like David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. But I think Ben Johnson is going to unlock this offense. It might take a year or two, and it's going to look bad, and he's going to get questioned as head coach, as it always does. But
definitely.
Give him time, and I think he can make it work.
I completely agree with you. I mean, this was your
this was the diamond that everybody wanted.
This was the thing that everybody wanted. I don't think you can go wrong with this.
Ball.
He has not raised any questions, of like, oh man, I don't know if we should hire this guy. I don't know if I'd want this guy as my head coach. No. I think everyone would be okay with this guy as their head coach. He's just proven it year after year with the Lions.
Oh, yeah, Ben Johnson. I'm not going to rip on him. I'm just not going to rip on Dan Campbell either. Ben Johnson is clearly – he's the brains behind the whole operation.
He's the straw that stirs the drink.
He is the straw that stirs the drink. He's the guy – Ben Johnson has so much – he has so much power in the NFL in this head coaching cycle. Because, I mean, the only reason why he didn't leave early is because he said, I don't want to. Yeah. Everybody's like, but
blue ball.
No.
Yeah, blue ball.
Yeah, so he just decided to actually go get it. He went and got a job. He decided to take a promotion, but he could go anywhere he wanted. He could probably walk up to the Steelers. Well, the Steelers probably wouldn't do it, but
nah, they're dumb.
He could probably let's say he walks up to what's a team that kind of struggled this year?
Titans.
Well, yeah, but I mean
Jaguars.
like a team that was expected to be good and kind of sucked. Bengals. He could probably walk up to Bengals GM, be like, "Hey, I want to coach your team."
Actually, no, because Bengals are cheap. Their owners are cheap. But yes, that idea.
Or walk up to the Falcons, who I know I expected to be better. I think they should have won that division. Walk into the Falcons, hey, I can turn this team around. Raheem Morris didn't do it this year. They probably would have given him the job.
Probably.
Tom Brady was begging for him.
Yeah, he was.
To go to the Raiders. And if Tom Brady's begging for you, then that's high praise.
Saying something.
Yeah. But Ben Johnson went to, I think, what's going to be a great spot. He's got the quarterback locked down for at least right now. They're still figuring things out with him. He's still young, learning the NFL game. The receivers are all still there. Yeah. Offensive line needs help, but this is his MO. He's the best offensive mind available. He was. So this is the guy that everybody wanted, and the Bears, they somehow swung and got him, and that's A+.
Yeah.
Yep. A+.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Patriots hired former Titans head coach Mike Vrabel as their head coach, and they also hired the former Raiders head coach and Patriots OC Josh McDaniels as their OC again.
I give him a B+, and I give him that high of a grade because I think they're still trying to keep the same Patriots culture here. Mike Vrabel played for the Patriots, so he knows the culture, and then they're just running it back with Josh McDaniels as OC again. So I think this is kind of like a Belichick redo, in a way. But I think Mike Vrabel is going to be great for this Patriots team.
I love Mike Vrabel as the head coach. I'm unsure of Josh McDaniels as the OC. I don't know how that fit's going to be with Vrabel.
With no Tom Brady.
Exactly. I like Drake May. He had a good year, but I'm going to give him a solid B is what I'd give him because I love Mike Vrabel. He got kind of did dirty by the Titans because I think he still deserved to keep his job for what he had there at the Titans, and he's a good head coach. Bring a good culture. The guys will play for him. Guys will like him, and I just don't know about Josh McDaniels. I'm not sold on him yet.
That's the reason that I also went just flat B. I agree with you guys, everything you said about Mike Vrabel. He's the one who led that Titans team to a surprisingly great season and then backed it up the year after that with the number 1 seed in the playoffs. Now they lost in the playoffs to the Bengals there, but no doubt he's proven that he can be a great head coach. He does things the Patriot way. Fired one former Patriots linebacker just to hire another one.
Yeah.
pretty much.
But this is the guy that it felt like it was always going to happen like this. I mean, as soon as Gerard Mayo was fired, it's like, well, there's Vrabel right there.
Yeah.
Because Robert Kraft just loves to keep it in the family.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This beautiful
Keep
thing.
it pure, yeah.
But I'm with you. I don't know how Josh McDaniels going to work out. It's not 2009 anymore. Whenever you had Tom Brady back then, Drake May plays in a different way. I'd like to see him actually like use Drake May's athletic ability, because he has that way more than Tom Brady ever did. So I would like to see that. So I just want to see how innovative Josh McDaniels is, because because I just kind of hope that he's not old school and like keeps this offense like in the dirt like the Steelers are.
True.
Yeah, agreed. The Jets hired Lions DC Aaron Glenn as their head coach. What?
The Jets.
Jets are going to jet.
I said one of their New Year's resolutions was to pretty much like figure it out. This is not that. This is more confusing. It doesn't make any sense. What are they doing here? They fire their defensive-minded head coach, Robert Saleh, who's been successful, very good with his defense, just to hire debatably a less defensive-minded head coach in Aaron Glenn. What does he bring to the table that Robert Saleh couldn't?
He was on the Lions, and the Lions were good.
There's that. Then
That's
the only other thing I can think of is the first 8 years of his career he played corner on the Jets. So for that reason, I'll give him a D, just because he played for the team for 8 years. But other than that, this is an F minus.
Yeah, I'm unsure about this one too. I don't know if a defensive-minded head coach is where they need to be. Because obviously didn't. Yeah, I don't know. I completely agree with what you said. I think Aaron Glenn's a good defensive play caller, but with these coordinators going to head coaching positions, there's always the question, like, obviously head coach is a way different job. So, like, can they do that? I think Aaron Glenn has the ability to, but it's just going to be proving, can you rally the boys and handle all the day-to-day stuff of a head coach? And I wonder if he's going to be defensive play caller still. Like, some guys are, and I'd almost like him to be.
Yeah.
Because I think he's good at that. Because he obviously made it work with the Lions' very, very injured defense this past season. I don't know. I'll give this one a C. I just think it's maybe not the best hire, but definitely not the worst.
I'm gonna give it a C minus. Because everything that you guys said, I mean, everything that we've seen from the Lions defense, yeah, they overachieved compared to expectations this season. Just with how many injuries they had to deal with and all that. But, like, even before that, whenever the Lions defense was pretty healthy in years prior, it's not like they had a great defense. Like, at least whenever they brought in Robert Saleh, that 49ers defense was scary. Like, he proved that, like, I can do this. I can make you a great defense. And then he did. He made the Jets a great defense. But Aaron Glenn, I don't know. After you've struggled for so many years with defensive head coaches, Rex Ryan was a defensive head coach. Obviously, Robert Saleh, and neither one of them worked. I don't know why you go back to the well with a defensive head coach whenever your offense has been what struggled for years and years and years and years and years. Why would you not just try to bring in anybody? Liam Cohen is out there, looks like. Ben Johnson, okay, maybe you couldn't swing Ben Johnson. Like, it's tough to do that because he's who everybody wanted. But, like, anybody with any kind of offensive mind, they just didn't bring him in. They just brought in a guy who turned a defense into the middle of the pack who was very injured. Like, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. At the end of the day, I kind of ranked it that high, like a C minus, because I think that Aaron Glenn is a good guy who's not going to flame out whenever the going gets tough.
He's an ex-player.
He's an ex-player. He's got a great like little beard thing that makes him look like a goat.
Yeah. It's good.
He's got that going for him.
Yeah.
I just think that he's a good guy, a steady between the ears, and I think that's a good thing for the Jets to have right now. But like as far as what he's going to bring, I have no idea, because he didn't prove to me a whole lot.
Yeah, I agree. The Jags hired Buccaneers OC Liam Cohen as their head coach. Also, the Jags hired the Vikings assistant OC/assistant QB coach Grad Uzinski and Oh,
His
as their OC.
His name's Grand. That's
Yeah,
fine.
Grant.
Wait. His name's Grant. That's a typo.
Grant Uzinski.
That's
Grant
a typo on my
Uzinski
part. Yeah.
As their OC.
Yeah.
And also the Jags also hired Packers linebacker coach Anthony Campanile
Yeah.
as their DC.
Let me just tell you a little bit who these guys are, and then
Yeah.
what the I just got to run down through what happened with the Liam Cohen situation because
Yeah.
it's just hilarious.
It's
But
funny.
let me tell you who Grant Udinsky is first. He held this position with the Vikings the past 2 years, assistant OC / quarterback coach. So obviously he learned that McVay system under Kevin O'Connell, which is perfect for a McVay disciple in Liam Cohen, the real sling the ball, chuck it downfield. So I think that this is a good hire. A solid hire at least. Him and Liam Cohen should at least be on the same page. I'm sure
Right.
Liam Cohen is still going to be running the show, calling the plays and all that. So it's just kind of a guy let's bring in a guy that agrees with me, and I think that Grant Udinsky will do that. He's just he's just basically just a name to have there. They're probably never going to show him on camera.
Probably not.
It's
No.
just,
Yeah.
but as far as for the linebackers coach, or not linebackers coach, former linebackers coach of the Packers, Anthony Campanile.
Campanelli. it
Okay,
is.
Campanelli.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, with all these coaching hires, we got to work our way down these coaching trees to learn where these guys came from. So
Yep.
Campanelli,
Oh boy.
linebackers coach I know it's all just a tree. Keep it in the family. Linebackers coach for the Dolphins for 4 seasons before he became the Packers linebackers coach. This guy loves linebackers. 3 of those seasons he worked on the Dolphins. 3 of those seasons on the Dolphins he worked under defensive coordinator Josh Boyer, another guy you've never heard of.
No.
Well, Josh Boyer was the former Dolphins defensive coordinator who worked as a defensive backs coach under Bill Belichick for the Patriots for 2009 to 2018. So this guy's a Bill Belichick disciple down the line, like kids.
I was excited for a second because you're talking about all these Dolphins defenses and stuff.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say someone was under Brian Flores at least.
No. No, this guy, while Brian Flores was, yes, but Brian Flores is from Bill Belichick as well.
Oh, okay.
That's where Bill.
So down the family.
So yeah, he worked under Brian Flores and under Bill Belichick. So this guy.
Bill had a pretty good defense.
He
in his
did,
years
but
in New England.
it's you're hoping. It's man, I Usain Bolt's kid, three generations down the
generations
road.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's this is Usain Bolt's great grandson. I
Yeah.
bet he's fast. He
Yeah.
could be fat. It's he has
Yeah.
Yeah.
This guy doesn't know how to run.
Yeah.
We don't really know.
It's in there somewhere.
It's in there. He was at least in the building whenever Usain Bolt was doing this
yeah.
stuff.
True.
Yeah.
So we don't know. But let me outline what happened with the Liam Cohen situation because it was unprecedented and hilarious. So here's the timeline. Liam Cohen was the Jaguars' top target for their head coach position. Mm-hmm. He was set to interview on a Wednesday, but then he withdrew his name.
Yep.
So then because the Bucs then offered him an extension to become one of the highest paid coordinators in the league.
Yeah.
So then
great. Yeah.
it came out okay, it looks like he's signing that. Well, apparently he never signed. They just agreed to it verbally. So then the Jaguars, who refused to fire their GM Trent Baalke, the guy who makes terrible draft picks.
Yeah.
He just goes out and drafts athletes, which is what he's known for. Well, the Jaguars said they're not firing him, so that's why Liam Cohen went back. So then the Jaguars are they bugged out. They're oh, okay, Trent Baalke, you're fired. So they fired him.
Yeah.
Then they reached back out to Cohen, asking him if he would reconsider. Cohen hadn't signed his Bucs contract yet, so he started engaging with the Jaguars again. Now, Cohen was at the Jaguars facility trying to finalize a deal. Meanwhile, the Bucs couldn't get in touch with him. They're calling him, they're texting,
Sorry,
sending him
phone's
emails.
off. Yeah.
They can't get a hold of him. So then, the next time the Bucs heard from Liam Cohen, he was letting them know that he was taking the Jaguars head coaching job.
Who needs
hilarious.
reality TV when you have the NFL? I mean, that's so wild.
He's yeah, I'll accept that contract. And then,
Then immediately shoved his foot in his mouth when he tried to say Duval.
yeah. Oh, it was so bad.
That dropped a
That
grade
was,
for me.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was
But yeah, that was reality television.
yeah, and that's what was keeping everybody from wanting to go, because Ben Johnson was in the running for the Jaguars too. He pulled out because nobody wanted to work with Trent Baalke because he's so bad.
Sets you up for failure.
Sets you up for failure. So that's Liam Cohen wanted to play a part in the players that he was bringing into this team, and if Trent Baalke was there, he knew he wasn't going to be able to do that. So he's I want to play a part in hiring the next GM. Mm-hmm. So now he's got that because they went out and fired Trent Baalke just like that. So
Yeah.
I think the Jaguars are doing this right, though. I think Liam Cohen, like all in all, for my grade of these total 3 hires, I'm gonna give it an A-. I like how hard the Jags worked. Like it shows that they're trying to do something. Like they're already paying Trevor Lawrence. Like whether they like it or not, they are paying him, and he has shown flashes, no doubt. And I think that Liam Cohen is a great guy to bring in for Trevor Lawrence because Trevor Lawrence, in my eyes, he's been like ever since he came into the league. Well, he started out with Urban Meyer, so that didn't help. But like ever since that moment, he's been like scared in the NFL. And I want a guy like Liam Cohen who just tells him to rip it. Like Trevor, just rip it. Just sling that ball to Ryan Thomas Jr. Don't know if Christian Kirk's going to be back next year. But just sling it to BTJ. We'll get you some other weapons, and we're going to make this thing work. So I just think that Liam Cohen, he had a great season, made Baker Mayfield look real good. So I think that he can do the same with this Jaguars offense. And it feels like the Jaguars team is moving in the correct direction.
I also love what the Jags are doing here. I'll also give them an overall grade of A-. But offensively, A+. I could not love what they're doing here more. They fire Trent Baalke, and they look around the league. They know they have a struggling quarterback. They say, what teams made their quarterback overachieve this year? They see Baker Mayfield going absolutely berserk this year. They go hire Liam Cohen as their new head coach. They look in Minnesota. They say, who the hell is this Sam Darnold guy? What's he doing? So they go to Minnesota. They get their assistant quarterback coach, assistant OC, whatever makes. I mean, he'll have a part of that somehow. They hire him as the OC, which that's not going to be a big role under this because Liam Cohen's an offensive guy. But he's still going to be there, and he can give his input.
Yeah, a guy to bounce ideas off of.
Yeah. Now, defensively, that's an F because, I mean, Packers linebacker coach Anthony Campanelli. Yeah. So, like you said, Dolphins for like 2021 to 2024 or 23 or whatever. So you look at you look at that time frame. You say, okay, what could he do with the linebackers? Can you name me any relevant linebackers during that time that he could like transform into somebody half decent?
No,
I'm not a Miami fan, but no, I cannot.
Yeah. So then he was the Packers for linebackers coach last year. Didn't do anything there either. They drafted Edgerrin Cooper. He didn't really do anything this year.
Didn't
and
play
then
him enough.
No one else really showed up either. So they see what he's able to do with linebackers, right? And the Jags go, give me that guy. That is a perfect representation of our defense right now. He'll fit right in. That's an F hire. What are you doing?
I agree with you with that linebacker with Anthony Campanelli hire. I'm not sure. So that like drops my overall grade for them to like a B, just because I do like Liam Cohen as the OC because of all the reasons you guys stated. I'm still unsure about a guy who just was kind of watching as the as their OC. He was just kind of in the background, like couldn't come from a better place. I agree with that, but we'll see. I don't know. I'll give them a B for their hires here, but I do like what they're doing. I agree with you guys. Getting rid of Trent Baalke and trying to make a lot of changes. At least they're trying something here. They need to. The Raiders have hired former Seahawks head coach Pete Carroll as their head coach. And they also hired Ohio State's OC and former Eagles and Niners head coach Chip Kelly as their OC.
I don't really know how I feel about this.
I don't know
it's
either.
Like they have the names, but I don't know if they have the prowess anymore. Chip Kelly's gone to college. Who knows what he's going to do with his offense now. And Pete Carroll, he's been at it for a little while. But, you know, if this was 2010, man, would this be a stacked Raiders coaching staff. They got Tom Brady, they got Pete Carroll, and they got Chip Kelly.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Everything that we hear sounds like Tom Brady is calling a lot of shots there.
Yeah.
Or playing a big role.
He should.
In the hirings and
he
stuff.
should.
Yeah. Here's how I feel about this. If Pete Carroll, say, went to a team, like a better team that was searching for a head coach, like let's say he went to the Steelers, like you wouldn't be happy with this.
No.
But like for a Raiders team that's been down in the dumps so long, it just kind of needs an adult in the room to like okay guys, here's how you do this. I think that Pete Carroll is a good head coach candidate. So I like this hire. I'm gonna go B+ because it's kind of graded on a curve. Because we're talking about the Raiders here, who just need some form of success. And if the head coach can just bring in some stability and wise words, then I think that's a bonus. Like, I think that he's not going to stick there through the whole rebuild. He's going to be 74 years old at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
So I don't think he has energy for a whole. Well, he is a pretty lively guy, so maybe he does.
He'll be
have
spinning
the
on
energy.
the field,
Yeah, he will be spinning it.
Yeah.
He's out there like running around, throwing on the run.
Oh, yeah.
But he's. I like Pete Carroll. I don't know how much of the needle he's gonna move, but he's at least gonna, as I said, bring an adult in the room and some stability. Finally, I feel like obviously he's not known to be one of those innovative, young. Like, this guy's gonna bring us some flashy plays. Like, this guy's just gonna bring you steady Eddie.
Yep.
He's gonna make it work with what he has. Try to get your franchise back on float, and then he's gonna go retire. Spend time with his wife and kids or whatever. I don't know what he does.
Yeah.
He feels like he'd be like a painter or something. Like, he paints landscapes. I don't know. That's the kind of vibes that I get from Pete Carroll. But
Okay.
as for Chip Kelly as the offensive coordinator, last time we saw him in the NFL, it didn't work. So I don't know. He had a lot of help on that Ohio State offensive. There's so many pieces on that Ohio State offense this year that I feel like kind of elevated him. But as I said, I just like that they're bringing adults into the room, so B+ for me.
Yeah, the more I was going to go lower, but the more I sit here and think about it, the more I like it, just because of everything you said. The Raiders, yeah, you're completely right. They desperately need stability. I mean, it's been a dumpster. I would say dumpster fire, but it's been worse. It's just a dumpster. So, like, it's not even providing anything like heat.
No
it's
heat.
just like, it's just a dumpster.
It's just cold, wet
stinks.
trash.
Yeah.
It stinks.
Yeah. This guy stinks. And so, yeah, I do like Pete Carroll. Yeah, he should be good to at least get the Raiders kind of back on their feet. Yeah. Hopefully they can get some pieces there and build a little bit of something because, I mean, who do the Raiders have? They still have Max Crosby. They've got Brock Bowers. They got Christian Wilkins. Those are some of the only staples that I'm, like, comfortable with.
Bobby Spillane, if you want to go there.
Oh, yeah, definitely Bobby Spillane. Yeah, that's my bad. Yeah, definitely Bobby Spillane. But, yeah, they aren't I like it. I give it like a A-, actually, because they are not set up for an experimental new head coach right now.
No.
Not at all.
They'd get fired.
Yeah, they would get fired immediately. They
They would
need someone that
backfire.
Mark Davis, the owner, can trust. And, like, be like, hey, you're a well-known guy in the league. I'm going to put my trust completely in your decisions for the next couple of years or however long his contract was.
I think you know what you're doing here.
Yeah.
I'm
you
just
can
going
at
to
least,
step back.
Yeah, which is what he needs to do. He just
Seriously.
needs to let him do his thing. Chip Kelly, this role as OC in the Raiders organization is kind of set up for failure almost still. So I don't hate the Chip Kelly hire at all. He's been there, done that. He should at least know what needs to be done as an OC in the league instead of bringing in an assistant quarterback coach to try to do this role in a Raiders offense that's very, 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 very unknown right now. So I actually kind of like this. Not that I think it's going to go out there and win 11 games, but like I think it'll bring a consistency and stability that the Raiders desperately need at this point in their franchise.
It's a really good point. These are better hires than I initially thought, yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt about it. Cowboys promoted their OC, Brian Schottenheimer, to OC. The Cowboys also hired the Cardinals O-line coach, Clayton Adams, as their OC, and they hired the former Bears head coach, Matt Eberflus, as their DC.
All right, let me talk about this one first because as this was going on with the Cowboys, it just really sparked something into me. Like, this is what this is like. I got an analogy for you guys.
Okay, yes.
All right, here's the Cowboys searching for a head coach with the rest of the league while they're having, like, basically what I picture the head coaching just kind of carousel, like the hirings. It's basically like one big speed dating event, right?
You're right, yeah.
So it's like one of those things where all the GMs and owners are sitting in chairs in the middle, and there's like a layer of chairs around the outside, and they're just like chairs are all facing each other, and it's like timer goes off, they switch, like so you can talk to the next guy. Well, every team's bigwigs are interviewing and having conversations with these like the hottest head coaching candidates. Well, Jerry Jones is there too. He's among the other needy head coaches and owners, or not head coaches, but GMs, GMs and owners. Well, Jerry Jones is the guy who he decides to keep talking to one candidate, tells the other candidates to like keep moving around him, like I just want some more time with this guy because well, there's no other team that wants to talk to this guy anyways. So, like, that's fine.
Yeah.
Like, we don't want Brian Schottenheimer. Nobody wants Brian Schottenheimer. He got 0 other interviews. He only got re-interviewed by Jerry Jones. Well, it turns out Jerry Jones is just in that chair. Jerry Jones is just talking to a banana. He's like there laughing, joking it up. He's just having a great time. Nobody else invited this banana or wanted it to be here. But Jerry brought this in, stuck it on a chair, and started having a conversation with it. Here's what Jerry Jones said on Brian Schottenheimer. If you don't think I can operate outside my comfort zone, you are so wrong. This hiring of Brian Schottenheimer is as big a risk as you can take. No head coaching experience. How does that make himself sound good?
It doesn't, dude.
Here's Brian Schottenheimer's career. In 2001, he was with the Redskins. Shout out Redskins.
Yeah.
They had he was the quarterback's coach. They had the 28th ranked offense. He was with the San Diego Chargers from 2002 to 2005 as the QB coach. Those were the only years of Drew Brees' career where he didn't look like a Hall of Fame quarterback.
Nice.
2006 to 2011, he was OC of the Jets. He wasted some of the NFL's best defenses with Mark Sanchez. 2012 to 2014, he was with the St. Louis Rams as the OC. They had the 25th, 21st, and 21st offenses, respectively, in those years.
Was that Sam Bradford?
I think it
Should've been
was.
Bradford,
2012,
yeah.
I think, would have been Sam Bradford's first year.
Yeah,
Anyway,
he ruined his career.
He
sure
did.
Yep.
Georgia in 2015, like University of Georgia. He was the OC and quarterbacks coach. They were 85th in offense, and he got Mark Richt, right? R-I-C-H-T, fired. I don't know. Sorry. I don't know Georgia history. But anyways, he went back to the NFL after that. That was good enough. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Colts are like, we'll bring you in for 2016 and 2017 as our QB's coach. They were 30th in offense in 2017. Seattle Seahawks for 2018 to 2020 as the OC. He did not let Russ cook. And then he was with the Jaguars in 2021 before he got his job as the Cowboys OC.
This guy stinks.
But with the Jags in 2021, he was the passing game coordinator and quarterbacks coach. That team was 32nd in offense with Trevor Lawrence. Widespread dysfunction. That was the Urban Meyer year. So,
This guy stinks.
this guy's terrible. But, so basically for that hire alone, I'm going to give it an F. Basically, you can go basically off of vibes or just like interest around the league. If nobody else wants to hire this guy, there's probably a reason behind that.
Yeah.
But Jerry is just off in his 80-something years old. He thinks he knows better. Like, it's one of those things where it's like, you crazy kids don't know what you're talking about nowadays. Like, if you want to know football, you come to me.
Yeah.
But Jerry Jones doesn't know football anymore. This is just getting hilarious.
Yeah.
And so then he let Brian Schottenheimer cook, and he went out there and hired his offensive line coach, Clayton Adams, as OC. I kind of like that one. I'll get to that one to kind of explain. But then he went out and hired Matt Eberflus as defensive coordinator. And I'm sitting there. I'm like, do we remember what just happened with Matt Eberflus? Like, I know that was as a head coach.
Yeah.
His problem was, like, time management was, like, a big problem with Matt Eberflus. But, like, even, like, going back, like, you're bringing in a guy that has ultra bad vibes right now. This is one of the most hated guys in the NFL last year. And you're bringing him into your team where you already have dysfunction. I don't know. Like, yeah, maybe he'll be a good DC because that's what he knows. He doesn't know how to be head coach.
It happens a lot.
It does.
Like, there's a lot of guys that are Robert Saleh. Great coordinators. Tough head coaches. Kind of rough.
Yeah, I don't know. So I don't know what to think of this. But overall right now, I'm going to have to give this an F because I don't like what they're doing here. Real quick, let me just explain who Clayton Adams is. Cletus Adams, if you will.
Ooh, yeah.
But he's the Cardinals O-line coach. Now he's the Cowboys OC. This will be the highest position he's ever held in the NFL. Schottenheimer is going to be the one calling the plays on offense. Jerry Jones has already said that. He said, I want Brian calling the plays.
That's unfortunate.
Running the offense. But Clayton Adams still deserves some praise for what he was able to do with the Cardinals' offensive line because this was his second season with the Cardinals. Now think back to who the Cardinals had on that offensive line. And it never really caught. Yeah, exactly. You can't think of who they had on that offensive line. So they were able to help. He was able to help his one big name player, the 2023 first round pick, Paris Johnson Jr. out of Ohio State. Yeah. He progressed in a big way in his second season. In his first year, 2023, he earned a 60.1 overall PFF grade, which is 57th out of all offensive tackles. This past year, he earned an 80.1 PFF grade, which is 12th among all offensive tackles.
Dang.
He was able to help this starting offensive line that was viewed as a bottom 8, bottom 6 unit before the NFL this season. Like, they had nobody on this team, offense, defense, like nobody besides Kyler Murray and Marvin Harrison Jr. But Paris Johnson, you already mentioned him. He's our left tackle. Left guard, Evan Brown. He's on his 5th team in his first 6 years in the NFL.
Wow.
Center, Hjalte Froholt. Amazing name, by the way. But he was a 2019 third-round pick who couldn't start for the Patriots or Browns. But he has really impressed since he joined the Cardinals, immediately thrusted into that starting center role. Right guard was Will Hernandez. He was a second-round pick by the Giants in 2018, who surprisingly never worked out. Imagine that.
Oh, that's crazy.
Then the right tackle was Jonah Williams. Remember the guy on the Bengals who they
do.
tried to keep shipping out of town? They couldn't wait to replace him with how much he struggled to protect Joe Burrow against the ferocious edge rushers in the AFC North. So then they brought in both Trent Brown and Orlando Brown Jr. so they could ship his ass out of town. Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
He was their starting right tackle all year. And this offensive line finished the 2024 season as the middle of the pack, like 16th ranked offensive line according to PFF. In pass protection, they allowed only 134 pressures, only 15 sacks on 615 passing plays. So that's crazy to only allow 15 sacks on the year. 87.9 PFF pass blocking efficiency rating as a unit. That's tied for 5th best in the NFL. So I understand and kind of agree with this hiring. Is he going to be calling plays? No. But the Cowboys' offensive line finished 2024 ranked as the 25th best offensive line. Zach Martin, the right guard, he's going to retire Hall of Famer, but he can't stay healthy anymore. He's going to be gone.
Yeah.
The 2024 third-round pick, center Cooper Beebe, was inconsistent. And then the 2024 first-rounder, Tyler Guyton, left tackle, was always viewed as a project with the ideal size and athleticism. And he definitely proved he needs some refining after earning a 49.4 overall PFF grade in 2024. So, yeah, this offensive line needs an overhaul, and I think that Clayton Adams could be the guy to do it. So that is the only hiring I like here. I don't like any of the other ones. So that's my big ramble on the Cowboys just because I thought it was hilarious. But what do you guys think?
You said everything well. The only thing I want to add is I think Eberflus is going to be a great DC, actually.
Ooh.
Yeah, because I feel like lots of times DCs just can't handle every aspect of head coaching. Like you look at Brian Flores, great DC, went to head coach with Dolphins, didn't make it work.
Raheem Morris in the first year with the Falcons.
Raheem Morris, Robert Saleh.
I
I feel like Aaron Glenn's going to end up the same way, unfortunately.
Dan Quinn the first time around.
Yeah.
He was head coach of the Falcons.
Yeah, I feel like Matt Eberflus, once he can just focus on only the defense and not having to call timeouts, challenges, all these, complicated things.
Yeah.
Right, calling timeouts.
Yeah, exactly. Yes,
Tough.
managing
It's
time.
tough. Yeah.
Managing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's going to succeed here, and I think it's going to be good for this Cowboys team who has talent on defense.
I think I'm more lean towards that way instead of him being absolute garbage. As far as Eberflus's DC, I think he's got a good chance to be pretty good here. Clayton Adams, that's good info. I didn't know that much about him, so I like that hire. But as far as the Brian Schottenheimer, F-. They aren't trying. I mean, what are we doing here? At least put in some effort. You can't keep trusting your guys to do this when he hasn't proven. Like he may prove us all wrong, but boy, does it not look good right now. But it is hilarious.
At least go question an offensive coordinator of a good offense.
Yeah.
Hell, go out there. Maybe the Rams offensive coordinator, I don't even know his name, but maybe he doesn't do a whole lot. But he's at least learning under Sean McVay.
Yeah.
Go to the 49ers offensive coordinator.
Yep.
It's been proven that these McVay, Shanahan guys work in the NFL. At least go talk to him, have a coffee or something.
Yeah.
Try to get an interview with Kellen Moore.
Bring him back.
They should have. Yeah, whatever. It's the Cowboys. It's funny.
Can we retract their label as America's team?
We should. Yeah, we should.
Because right now it's looking like China's team with how low quality these products are.
They have freaking Temu out here.
Yeah.
Temu.
All right, off the Cowboys. Saints hired Eagles OC Kellen Moore as their head coach. I think this is a good hire. I mean, it probably sucks for Kellen Moore because Saints might need a lot of work here, but I think Kellen Moore is up there as one of those OCs that was top of the line for head coaching candidates. Proved it this year with the Eagles, obviously, and had a pretty good, fairly good stint in Dallas. Obviously, good enough to move over to the Eagles, and the Eagles to trust him to come in and it worked out this year. So yeah, I think it's a good hire by the Saints. I'd give it like a B plus. I don't hate it.
I'm gonna give this one a B, straight up, just a B. Just because Kellen Moore, there's no coaching tree history on this guy. This guy was drafted by the Cowboys, and then like a few years into his career, he's like, "Yeah, I'm not good at this thing, so I'm just gonna retire." And then they hired him as a coach, and he worked his way up to offensive coordinator. Mm-hmm. Bounced around to the Chargers, is where he was last year, and now he's Eagles, and then now a head coach. So like I kind of agree with this. It's just like there's nothing really super exciting about it. I mean, we've seen this guy succeed in many different places. He's won as a rushing team with like Ezekiel Elliott. He's won as a passing team. So I like how versatile this guy is. I just don't really think he's like one of the wonder kids, if you will. Nobody talks about this guy about having like, his offense is like so innovative. It's so flashy. Just kind of like,
just works.
It works. Yeah, it works. Which is a good thing. So maybe he deserves more than a B. Maybe I'll up it to a B plus. But again, it just feels like something after being stuck in the mud with Dennis Allen for so long. It feels like Kellen Moore should come in and hopefully right the ship, even if it's minimally. He should be better than what they had before, which is good.
This guy, the Jets could have used this guy.
Yeah, seriously, the Jets could anybody offensive.
Yeah. Anyways,
I just gave it a C. I don't have any reason to hate it, but I also don't have any reason to love it.
Yeah,
like you said, he didn't really like pop off the page with anything he's done. He didn't do anything great with the Chargers. Definitely not. It'd be hard not to succeed with the offense he has had on the Eagles with that stacked O-line. But can anybody tell me what he was before he got hired as a quarterback's coach to the Cowboys?
He's a quarterback.
Yeah. Do you know what draft class he was in?
No.
I know where he went to college. He was Boise State.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I didn't realize he was so young. Like it feels like this draft class is like just like very soon.
What is he like?
So 7?
No,
34?
sooner.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he's like 2011.
2012.
Whoa.
He's way younger than I thought. That's Andrew Luck, RG3, Ryan Tannehill, Brandon Weeden, Russell Wilson, Nick Foles, Kirk Cousins. Most importantly,
holy crap,
Brock Osweiler.
Oh,
yeah.
He was undrafted though.
Oh,
Kellen Moore was to the Cowboys. After he was done with his playing career, which wasn't very long, Cowboys hired him as quarterback's coach, and then he just worked his way up through the organization.
Yeah, it's pretty
and
cool.
now he's here. So
it's just like kind of one of those guys who like knows the game, he just can't play the game.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I took from it.
Yeah.
All right. The Lions hired Broncos pass game coordinator John Morton as their OC.
Yeah, this guy, he's worked as some kind of offensive assistant coach for 6 NFL teams since 1998. 2 stints on both the Raiders and the Saints. He's kind of bounced around quite a bit. I understand this hire, I guess, because, Bo Nix looked pretty good last year. How much of that was Sean Payton? How much of that was John Morton? I think we're going to give more credit to Sean Payton, just not knowing, not being behind the scenes with them. But as far as like just how well it worked with Bo Nix and how I guess like kind of surprising it was that he like took off in the way that he did,
especially for the weapons he had there.
Yeah, the weapons he had there, being the 6th quarterback drafted in that draft class is a crazy thing to look back on. So I think this hire's okay.
Yeah, I agree with that. Just kind of okay.
So I'm gonna give this one. Well, I guess we'll talk about the Lions DC too. But they promoted their linebackers coach Kelvin Shepard to defensive coordinator. I do remember that. LSU linebacker. Yeah. I remember him.
No.
But he's been a linebackers coach with the Lions since 2021 whenever Dan Campbell took over. So he just kind of – I don't care who the defensive coordinator is of this team because if they've been working under Dan Campbell, it's going to be the same. He can do just as much as Aaron Glenn, I think, in my opinion. I mean, all the defense is on this team is just a mindset. It's just to go out there and hit somebody hard. Yeah. Bite some kneecaps. So, like, if you've been in the system and you buy into that, you can get your players to buy into that, get behind you, then I think he's going to be a fine defensive coordinator. But overall, between these 2 hires, I gave it a B. I wish they would have been, like, more innovative and trying to go get a different OC. But I could see how it might work. I just believe in Dan Campbell because here's why. Because every player wants to play for this guy. You never see a guy who's like Nick Sirianni, basically, that he just won the Super Bowl. But like you see players just like openly bad body language. It's like, nah, this guy's a fucking dumbass. But like nobody's ever liked that with Dan Campbell. He was a laughing stock whenever he was first hired as the Lions head coach. But like
they
now,
proved it.
Yeah, it's like, oh damn, now this team is legit. It's like if you want to just go have fun, hit people hard, it's like you want to go play for the Lions, and most players do. So I just think that like the Lions might not be as innovative offensively. Okay, Ben Johnson's gone.
Yeah.
Just brilliant mind is that just left your building. But like, if you can get everybody to buy in, I feel like that's gonna take you quite a long way. In the NFL, where like sometimes you get players that are just like, I don't get paid enough money, I'm not gonna play hard this year. The Lions aren't gonna have any of that because everybody wants to play for Dan Campbell.
Yeah, the culture's built, the talent's there. I mean, I don't hate this. It's a B for me too, just because they don't need. I don't believe they don't need some big name OC to come in and like really reinvent the wheel here. They got the blueprint. They got the players. They got the talent. They got the culture set. And I like Kelvin Shepherd as a D. I like that move to DC. I like the ex-players that come in, and especially when they go into good situations with someone like Dan Campbell running the ship, and who's just gonna freaking probably hype up Kelvin Shepherd and get him going even as much as his own players. So I like this move by the Lions. I think it's a pretty good bounce back for what they lost. Is it going to be the same? No. I mean, no one's Ben Johnson. They aren't going to. Unfortunately, probably aren't going to see many Penei Sewell offensive plays. But
dang it.
I know. We'll see though. We shall see. But I don't hate this. I don't think it's a home run, but it's a nice solid. You got some ribbies on this one. You know, it's pretty good at bat.
You know, I'm just going to give him a C because usually I don't like internal hirings, but this is a situation I think I would like to see them hire internal with the offense. Maybe promote the passing game coordinator or something, because I think you just want to keep Ben Johnson's offense going, because the offense has never been a problem for this team. Even when they lost in the playoffs, they still put up like 40 points. It was not the offense that caused the problems.
True.
Well, Jared Goff did throw 2 picks, but that's not really anything you can do as OC. Yeah. So I don't know the personalities under Ben Johnson. Maybe they're not cut out for OC, and maybe they're just keeping the pass game coordinator and everything in place, and then John Morton's just going to kind of be the leader of it, and they're keeping it the same. But I don't know. It's hard to say, but I wouldn't have mind them doing a promotion, like I said, so just to see.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, that's a good
I can
point.
agree with that, too. Texans hired Rams pass game coordinator Nick Caley as their OC.
Not a whole lot on this guy. This guy was a McVay guy the last 2 seasons with the Rams. Then he spent 2017 to 2022 with the Patriots as a tight end coach with Josh McDaniel and Rob Gronkowski for 2 of those seasons. So I don't really know what to expect besides the fact that it's a McVay guy. But like, how much is he taking in? That's a good question.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really don't have a whole lot on this guy. So I gave this one. Actually, if we're going to couple this with the firing of Bobby Slowick, I'm going to give this a D+. I hated that firing.
Yep.
And we can get into that whenever, like a few bullet points down whenever we mention where he went. But I hated that firing. I mean, I don't think that was Bobby Slowick's fault. That the offensive line just completely took a shit.
Yep.
And C.J. Stroud was running for his life all year. Like, we saw every single Shanahan offense struggled this year. More than they had in past years. So, like, nobody else got fired, but Bobby Slowick did. So I think that this Texans team, I'm going to say it right now, I think they're going to take a step back, and I don't think they win the division this year. I think it's the Colts to win, baby.
If Joe Flacco couldn't do it, nobody can do it.
You're right. Yeah.
No, but I seriously do think the Texans are going to take a step back this year because I'm just going to say I don't think this guy is going to be as good as Bobby Slowick. And this guy's going to be running the show. DeMeco Ryans' head coach is defensive guy.
Yeah.
He's the defense.
Yep.
This is your offense. So it's all on you now, buddy, which is, I think, why Bobby Slowick took so much of the heat for the team struggling this year. But they still won a playoff game.
Yeah.
They limped their way into the playoffs, but they came out and they won their first playoff game again. Got to the same place again. So, like, if you're looking on paper, it's like, they're just about, wins and losses, like, that way, they're, like, just as good as they were last year. Now, I know that it was a different season for sure. A lot more struggles on offense, but still, I don't think they should have fired Bobby Slowick.
Yeah, I'm completely on board with your line of thinking here. I didn't like the Bobby Slowick firing either. I'm going to give this a D just because, I don't know, this guy may prove me wrong, but, like, if you think Rams pass game coordinator, Rams pass game was awesome. is incredible, but you still have Matthew Stafford.
Mm-hmm.
Would that
was McVay.
Would that be the same with anybody that's not a vet in the league, that's known as a slinger, that's known as an incredible passer and things like that? So I don't know. I didn't like this either. I'm completely on board with what you said here.
I gave him a D because if you think about the Rams passing game and this guy coordinating it, that probably means that Nico Collins is now going to get like 15 targets a game, and that's it.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Just pepper one guy and move on with it.
Yeah, and then occasionally throw in a random week of a different guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stephon Diggs. Yeah.
Maybe they're going to start hiring guys that look like decoys.
Ooh, there we go.
Like Nico Collins decoy.
Yeah.
Tank Dell decoy.
Yeah.
There's some small, skinny receivers they can hire for sure.
Yeah. Okay, the Seahawks have hired Saints OC Clint Kubiak as their OC.
Well,
I gave him
mean-
a B+.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
I actually like what Clint Kubiak is
Nailed
doing
it.
here. And I think that when he set the Saints offense on fire for the first 6 weeks there, whatever it was,
Nah, it's like 3.
whatever it may be, I think that was Clint Kubiak, and I think that shows his ceiling. I love what he was doing. He tried turning Derek Carr around, and then Rashid Shaheed gets hurt, and the offense kind
Yeah.
of falls apart. But
Derek Carr gets hurt. Chris Olave gets hurt. Rashid Shaheed gets hurt.
yeah, there's a lot of weapons on the Seahawks offense, though, and I think that he can make them work, and the offense is going to look pretty good.
I'm going to give this a B- because this guy's a well-known name and knows his way around the league. So I think he's a good name to bring into an offense that, yeah, they've still got guys there, but there's a lot of questions. They aren't the guys that they used to be. We don't know what's going to happen with Geno. We don't know what's going to happen with DK or Lockett.
Yeah, Lockett might be done.
Yeah, Lockett might be done. So there's a lot of questions around their offense right now, and who they're going to bring back, rookies, and Njigba's there, so he's a stud. But I like bringing him in as this is another one of those ones that feels like a stability type thing, and a guy that knows his way around being an OC in the league.
I gave this a C+. I'm not a big Kubiak guy. It was one of those things we talked about whenever he got the job as a Saints OC before last season. It was like this guy was with Shanahan for 1 year. It's like basically he it's like he's blind. He walks into he's like blindfolded, and he gets one lick on the lollipop, and he's got to try to guess what flavor that is. That was like him trying to learn the Shanahan offense. Like it worked for the first 3 weeks, but then it's like, holy shit, it hit the fan. They lost like the next 9 games or something.
It was pretty bad. Yeah,
And the offense just didn't show up. Like, yes, people got hurt. Okay. Yeah. But like in a Shanahan offense, you should at least have some kind of there still should still be some life after people leave. It's like the 49ers never working with a full slate. People are always dying on that team.
Yeah.
But so that's C+. I need to see more. That's why I just think he's still an unknown. I think he's still an unknown. So I need to see more.
Sure. 49ers hired former Jets head coach and 49ers DC Robert Saleh back as their DC.
A+.
Yeah, good hire.
Yeah. 49ers defense has struggled more than it struggled since he left.
Yeah.
Comparatively so. Yes. So I think that this fixes it. Done. Fixed. Good job.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I agree. Hey, Colts hired Lou Anarumo as DC, the former Bengals DC.
Why?
Yeah. No.
I don't know. Well, it's because the Colts defense stinks.
It was
So
terrible.
is the
last
Bengals.
year. Yeah.
But you were blinded by last year. Think before that.
Yeah. He had some
Lou
good
Anarumo's
moments.
a good DC. He's better than what the Colts had. I think this is a B- because it's an upgrade, but it's not a home run.
Yeah, I agree with your B- there. There were times where Lou Anarumo looks like he forgot what football was last season.
Sure.
And there were also games where the Bengals defense looked pretty darn good.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why.
Me neither.
But I think he still got it. But he just kind of needed a new change of scenery. The Bengals had tried to run it back with that defense too many times. I just think it wasn't working. So maybe just some fresh faces in there will be better. And you can't possibly be worse than the Colts defense was last year. That was bad.
Yeah, I don't hate it. Dolphins hired former Texans OC Bobby Slowick, as we previously mentioned, as senior pass game coordinator.
A+.
Yeah, home run.
Yeah, because he's getting back together with his buddy, Mike McDaniel, fellow Shanahan guy. It's like these guys are just going to be cooking it up all year. 2 young guys sitting in the office all summer just drawing up cool shit.
Yeah, because
And-
Bobby Slowick, he's not the true OC, so he's literally got nothing else to do
They got nothing else to do.
except for like just sit there and pass game coordinator.
They're just going to be
Just
drawing up
figure it out.
loop-de-loops in the office, and it's probably going to work. Like, yeah, the Lions, or not Lions, 49ers, Dolphins offense struggled last year, as with every single Shanahan offense did. But, like, as I said, I think there's going to be these guys are smart. They're, like, clearly some of the smartest guys in the league. They can make offense out of almost nothing.
Yeah.
So I think that this is going to be a year where it's going to be like, try to figure this out, defense. And I think that it's just going to work. But I like it. Bring these 2 guys together, and I think it's going to be great. Tyreek Hill there or not.
Yeah.
Let's move into apparently, because we're still recording, so that's good.
Yeah, it's
which
good.
Is good. Okay, apparently 49ers wide receiver Deebo Samuel has requested a trade. Where do you guys think he goes? Just throw out some teams. Where would you like?
Steelers.
Yeah, would you like to see him on the Steelers?
No.
I would
Well-
love that.
Yeah, actually, sure.
The Steelers could use anybody. He would immediately slot in as a wide receiver too.
We need some kind of playmaker.
He's flashy. So, yeah, he's
Yeah,
unlike this normal Steelers receiver.
Like, he took a step back this past year, but, like, he'd still be the Steelers wide receiver, too.
Actually, I would like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anywhere else? I'm trying to think where he'd slot good.
Depending on what the Jets do, because the Jets are done with Aaron Rodgers. You
Yeah.
can go to the Jets, because that means Devontae Adams is probably done with the Jets.
Yeah. Those are probably 2 of the bigger ones.
I know Chargers in market for a receiver, but Ladd plays out of the slot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, here's another one.
Yeah.
Browns edge rusher Myles Garrett has requested a trade. Here's what Myles Garrett said on the Cleveland Browns. Quote, "I'm just looking at the trajectory of the team and talking to some of the higher-ups, and I don't think we're aligned on where the team is going in the near future." That was on the Rich Eisen show.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure the team is like, we're not that far off. And Myles Garrett is like, are you kidding me?
You blind?
Yeah.
Like, look around.
Yeah.
Here's what Browns tight end David Njoku said about Myles Garrett, like on a podcast on Radio Row, while he was shirtless during Super Bowl week, which he's jacked. That
he's
is
a monster.
that is an athletic tight end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looked like all his face skin grew back too.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's good.
Yeah, but anyways, here's what he said. He said, quote, "Stay home. We ain't that far off." Bitch, what are you looking at?
Our live studio audience.
And then Micah Parsons said he'd take less money if he could play along Myles Garrett in Dallas. Now, would that actually happen? I don't know. But, hey. But, I don't know. Do you think that Myles Garrett weasels his way out of Cleveland?
Tell you what, I give him props for staying in Cleveland that long without requesting a trade.
Yeah?
I give him mad props. Not that I like Myles Garrett, but he needs to get out of there.
Yeah, he does.
He deserves to get out of there.
While he's still in his prime and playing well. Yeah.
They ain't gonna do anything when they're paying $230 million guaranteed to a quarterback. They can't do anything.
No.
Get him out of there. I agree with this.
Do you think he gets out, Carson?
I do, yeah. I think the Browns, once they get over the initial, oh no, our child, I think they're going to look at what's best for them in the future, and they need to get pieces out of him to help them rebuild, because the only thing he's doing good for him right now is jersey sales and tickets to games.
Yep, that's it.
Which he didn't even have that great of a season last year.
No, he didn't.
And I think that there's going to be teams that are really going to pay up for him, because edge rushers nowadays are more valuable than ever. Mm-hmm. So I think teams like the Commanders are going to try to get him. I don't know if I don't think the Cowboys are going to.
Lions.
Boy, if he
Lions
could go to the Cowboys, man, boy, would that be entertaining.
Yeah, Myles Garrett, Micah Parsons, or if he goes to the Chiefs, you got Chris Jones, Myles Garrett. Goes to the Lions, you got Aiden Hutchinson, Myles Garrett.
What if the Raiders are going all in?
Raiders, I've seen Raiders. Well, I've seen that they might get rid of Max Crosby, so they could bring in Myles Garrett.
Well, I'd only like him if Max was
But I think the Commanders are going to make a push for him.
Oh,
they
yeah.
could,
Because I think Commanders are
should.
going to go all in this year. They have so much cap money available. Now they see that they actually have the pieces to do it. They made it further than anyone expected.
Yeah.
So
That'd be
that's my bold prediction, Myles Garrett to the Commanders.
Yeah, that'd be
Okay,
awesome.
yeah. That would be great.
I would love that.
Perfect
Yeah.
fit.
Yeah.
Bengals linebacker Jermaine Pratt has requested a trade. I don't really know how much he thinks he's going to get.
I don't know either. I mean, he's a solid linebacker for sure.
He is. But, he's not a...
I don't know
Fred
why
Warner.
he really wants out. Probably obviously contract situation.
I'm tired of sucking.
That's what stems a lot of this. But
I guess he's not the linebacker one on this team. Logan Wilson, the guy who likes to lower his head into people and cause injuries, he's the linebacker one on this team. Maybe he wants to go somewhere where he can be the top dog,
maybe
the play caller, the green dot.
Yeah, I don't know how much need or want is out there for a linebacker of his stature.
That's like I made me think of that. There's that meme that I sometimes see where it's like a guy that's like smoldering. It's like a selfie of him. He's like. It's like an Instagram story, and it has like the poll on it. It says, "Who want me?" And then the poll says, "No, 100%."
Yeah.
Who want me? No.
Yeah, that's what it feels like here.
I thought maybe he could follow Lou Romo, but he's already in a stacked Colts linebacker room.
Yeah, they got EJ Speed and
Zaire.
Your guy Zaire Franklin.
Yeah.
Teams expected to be interested in Rams wide receiver Cooper Kupp because it sounds like he's being forced out of LA.
Pretty much.
It's like he didn't request the trade. They requested him to like be traded.
He said he wanted to finish his career in LA.
Yeah.
And they said, "Nah, see ya."
But here's some teams that could be interested. The Patriots, that'd be good. That'd be really good for Drake May.
Very much needed, yeah.
The Steelers, that'd be great.
That would be amazing.
The Lions with a Jared Goff reunion. I don't know.
They don't need him at all.
Yeah, because Amon-Ra plays mostly in the slot. I couldn't really see that. Commanders could use him.
Oh, they could use him.
Put him in the slot.
They're throwing to guys like Jameson Crowder, Olamide Zaccheaus,
De'Ami Brown.
Yeah.
And, of course, the Chiefs are always looking for a new wide receiver.
Sure, yeah.
They're probably, I don't know what they're going to do with D-Hop or Juju or Hollywood Brown. Yeah, we don't know.
No.
But unless his contract is renegotiated, the team that acquires Cooper Kupp is going to have to pay $20 million in 2025 and $19.85 million in 2026. But a report came out, according to Rap Sheet, that the Rams are willing to, quote, eat some money to facilitate a Cooper Kupp trade. So they might be willing to pay some of that contract just to get him out. It's crazy. It's not even like he's a loud voice.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not bad money-wise, but considering his terrible, terrible injury history.
Yeah.
That's tough, yeah.
It'd be tough.
Yeah. It's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money. But I think he'll definitely go somewhere, and I feel like he'll still be good.
I think so,
He's just got that veteran savvy.
Yeah.
I think he'll be remotivated to stay healthy.
Yeah, maybe. Start eating only plants like Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Yes.
And as we mentioned earlier, the Jets have officially informed Aaron Rodgers that they are moving in a different direction. He's going to be a free agent.
They got to be eating some money on that contract.
Yeah.
He's owed a lot.
So what now? Tyrod Taylor?
Where do you think he goes? That's what they said. Tyrod Taylor is an option for one of the bridge quarterbacks. Jordan Travis. Let's go.
Yeah.
If he can get healthy. He was still recovering from that brutal leg injury.
Yeah, that was rough.
But where do you think he goes?
Please not to the Steelers.
Steelers are betting favorites right now.
Really? I thought Minnesota might be to complete the trilogy.
I saw that too. Some of the
Steelers.
favorites are the Raiders. If Tom Brady played till he was 45, so he could like look at Aaron Rodgers and be like, I bet you I could create something for you to get you to play till you're that old too. But like the thing is, it's not like Aaron Rodgers wasn't completely terrible last year, right?
No, definitely not.
No, yeah, it wasn't that bad.
It's just the baggage that he comes with.
Yeah.
And nobody wants to take that.
Yeah.
Because it's like, well, as I said, the Aaron Rodgers friends and family plan, you got to bring in Nate Hackett. You got to bring in Alan Lazard. You got to bring in Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
It's like
you got to pay Randall Cobb $2 million to be retired.
I want to retire with Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, so like it's just like tough to find a suitor because it's like, nah, I don't really want that guy.
Yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't know who would want him right now.
The Raiders would be realistic because the thing I said, like they're stuck in 2010 and they're ready to be good in 2010.
Oh.
Yeah.
Bring together all the old guys.
Yeah, Pete Carroll, Tom Brady.
It would be a stable quarterback.
Yeah, and that would be a good. I think that'd be a solid bridge because I mean the Raiders this year have the 6th overall pick, with as weak as a quarterback class as it is this year.
Yeah, for sure. That's a good point.
You don't know what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
So
Raiders
Rodgers,
would be a bad fit.
Yeah, I could see that happening just because like Tom Brady's like, you're old. I'm old. I played football when I was old. You can too. Here's how we're gonna do it.
Yep.
So I could see that happening. But again, if the New York Jets cut Wide receiver Devontae Adams this offseason. He could have interest signing with the Rams, the Chargers, or the 49ers.
Chargers would be pretty awesome.
That would
Him
be
and
pretty
Justin
cool.
Herbert.
Get somebody, a reliable target on the outside.
Yeah.
Maybe he's not as good as he used to be, but like
Still reliable.
reliable, has hands,
Yeah, has hands.
can catch stuff.
Sure. Niners? I don't know about Niners. No, because they got what's-his-nuts coming back.
Brandon Ayuk.
I don't love any of these teams for him,
No.
actually. Chargers would be my favorite.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
That's really the only one I like.
I do like that Chargers.
I think the
'cause,
Chargers could work.
I feel like he could teach some things to Ladd.
Yeah.
They're both route runners.
both
They're
route
not,
runners,
not
yeah.
fast. Well, Ladd's faster than him.
Yeah, he's
definitely.
much faster. Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
At this point, yeah. The Saints are expected to decide on Derek Carr's future with the team over the next few weeks, according to Mike Garafolo. And then a few days ago came out, Saints new head coach Kellen Moore said about Derek Carr. He said, quote, Derek's a tremendous quarterback in this league. He's a starter in this league. He's a premier player in this league. Okay, Kellen.
It sounds like
Easy.
a Trump quote.
He's a starter in this league. He's a premier player in this league. Really excited to team up with him and go through this process.
Derek's a great quarterback. I said, wow, that's a great quarterback.
We love Derek Carr. We love Derek Carr. But
Yeah.
honestly, if you don't do Derek Carr, what are you gonna do? Go get Sam Darnold?
Got
try to.
yeah.
Develop Spencer Rattler somewhere.
Yeah, honestly, you might be stuck with Derek Carr until you get some better quarterback options like next year or something.
Yeah, I'd probably stick with Derek Carr.
Yeah, so I probably would too.
Yeah.
The Raiders are a quote team to watch for Sam Darnold this offseason.
Makes
according
sense.
to Adam Schefter.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah.
It could work.
Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow says the team has the cap space to keep its core players, as in T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, Trey Hendrickson, Mike Gesicki are all guys that he mentioned he'd like to keep together. Burrow admitted he would restructure his contract if it helps make that possible. Now, he was just talking on a talk show, but he did say it because they blatantly asked him. They're like, would you be willing to restructure to get these guys to stay? He said, yeah, I would do that.
I feel like there should be an asterisk here because, yes, they have the cap to keep everybody, but it's going to come at the expense of the rest of the
Everything
team.
else, yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna have to have a lot of rookies,
Yeah.
a lot of cheap guys, no big names outside of these guys, and yes, I think he would restructure, but I don't think he's going to actually do it because I think he understands that he's way too valuable and he's already had scary injuries before, so he knows how scary it is to possibly have your career ended.
If he restructures, it just needs to be pushing it down the road.
Yeah.
He still needs to get his money.
Yeah, I just think he wants to. He doesn't want to go through rebuild.
No.
He knows
Yeah.
he's in his prime.
Yeah.
Everybody saw how well he played this year. He likes having T there. There were games where T. Higgins, in the playoffs, whenever T. Higgins was actually finally healthy, which is a problem with T. Higgins. He can't always stay healthy. But whenever he is healthy, he is great. He is a wide receiver one.
Yeah, for sure.
But if they do this, they are putting the only guy they're paying on the defense is going to be Trey Hendrickson. The offense is going to be great,
Yeah.
no doubt, if you can keep that core together. But paying one guy on defense and then a total shit ton of rookies, Trey Hendrickson's going to want out.
Yeah.
He was already threatening this season, I might request a trade, and then and then soon after that he retracted it. He's like, actually, no, I'm good.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
It's like, what they pay you under the table or something, or
Yeah. I don't know. They need to keep this together, though.
if they can keep T. Higgins together, that would.
What do you guys think is going to happen here? Because I feel very strongly about this.
I think T. Higgins will be gone.
You think so?
Why would he want to keep playing second fiddle?
Yeah, I mean, he's a QB1.
He
in
knows
lot
he's a
of
wide
other
receiver
places.
one, yeah.
Or wide receiver one.
I think he's staying.
Oh,
And the reason I think that is because this has
I
been
think he'll do like a 2-year deal.
This has been drug out way too long for him to just leave. Kind of like the Brandon Ayuk thing. It's like we were talking during the thing. It's like if he actually wanted to be gone, then he would be gone by now. It's like a breakup. If you want to break up, then just break up. You're not gonna keep going for a year just because I don't really want to. Then they're just gonna make it happen because that's where they both want to be, and they're gonna find a way to do it.
I mean, I haven't heard any noise from T. Higgins, so
Yeah.
you very well could be right. We heard noise from T. I feel like it's every offseason. It's I want a new deal.
Yeah.
We'll franchise tag you. He's like, okay.
But we'll give Jamar Chase a new deal. Jamar, you want a new deal? Oh, I wasn't going to bring it up, but I guess. All right, we'll give you a new deal. Jamar, where's my new deal? We aren't going to give you a new deal.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. I could see him staying.
I think he knows how good he has it.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow slings the ball 50 times a game, and he's really good at it.
Yeah.
So why would he want to go elsewhere where he's going to be like, I'm stuck with young Drake May who has no offensive line, and I'm going to get double teamed all the time.
And he never has to go against Pat Surtain. And he doesn't have to go against any good corners because Jamar.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah, it's like vice president. It's all the title, none of the responsibilities.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like you don't know what the vice president does, but he's up there.
He's up there.
And the games that T. Higgins was healthy, they were peppering him with targets.
Oh my, yeah.
I'd never thought they were going to do that.
He was the number one target.
Yeah, I was expecting him to be like 5-6 targets a game. No, he's getting like 12, 10 targets a game.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It was crazy.
Mm-hmm. He's definitely a wide receiver one. I hope he does stay because I love watching this Bengals offense.
It's exciting.
Cowboys have had some internal discussions about whether to pay or trade Micah Parsons per rap sheet. What would you guys want to see happen? Because this is...
Get Mike out of there if you're even questioning it.
Yeah.
I think they'd be stupid to trade him away because...
Well, yeah, but that's the Cowboys, so they'll probably do it.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah.
Jerry Jones is calling the shots.
Yeah.
It's going to be like a Saquon Barkley kind of thing with Joe Shane. It's like, we don't need you here. We're not going to pay you that much money. And then he's going to go be a star somewhere else.
Definitely, yeah.
I just don't know what world that there's a question whether to pay Micah Parsons or not.
Yeah, like there were a few games Micah Parsons missed this year, or he was playing like injured for a good portion of the beginning of the year. And then came back and the Cowboys were wrecking some like playoff teams, like playing spoiler towards the end of the season, and Micah Parsons was a one-man wrecking crew.
Yeah.
So like if you don't, and then at the end of the season they're like, you're really not that important.
Yeah.
I don't.
And this leads perfectly into the next piece of news because why would you go ahead?
Jerry Jones. Quote from Jerry Jones. We love these.
Listen here.
We love Jerry Jones.
We love Jerry Jones. I said, wow, he looks like Jerry Jones.
With an 8.5-inch cock. But here's what Jerry Jones said. He said, quote, I wouldn't have signed Dak Prescott, the highest paid player in the NFL, if now wasn't when we wanted to win.
Such a joke of an organization.
This guy stinks.
You say you want to win now, so you make him the highest paid player in the NFL, which isn't deserved. And then you say, I wonder if we should trade Micah Parsons because we want to win now.
This guy sucks.
We should. I mean,
It's funny though.
It's a good time to not be a Cowboys fan.
Somebody needs to check him for dementia because
You don't need to check, brother.
he's got it.
Yeah.
He's got it.
He's the Joe Biden of the NFL right now. I know, I didn't want to say it, but I had to.
That's good.
But I had to.
He just makes
Sleepy Joe.
decisions that don't make any sense.
Yeah.
And he's just like the laughing stock right now.
You think Trump's a better golfer than him too?
Yes.
And Jerry Jones?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
No doubt.
I don't know. Jerry Jones probably spends a lot of time on the golf course.
Well, it definitely doesn't spend in the film room.
Yeah.
Definitely
certainly
not.
This guy stinks.
I love the Cowboys right now. The Colts GM, Chris Ballard, said about Anthony Richardson, quote, we've got to have a competition at the position just for the fact that, one, competition makes everybody better, and then, two, Anthony Richardson has not proven he could play 17 games. You know what? As an Anthony Richardson supporter, that's true.
That's very true. Yeah, I mean, this guy's speaking facts here.
He is speaking facts. Well, I want to throw some shade at Shane Steichen, who completely he wants him to lower his shoulder. I remember one play this year where Anthony Richardson left. He's got shoulder problems already. The kid's 22 years old, and there was one play where he just lowered his shoulder right into a defender, which was dumb on his part, sure.
Definitely.
Left the game, got checked out, came back into the game. First play called a quarterback draw. It's like, what the hell?
Yeah.
No, I thought that was his hip, but yeah, I know what you mean.
Oh, yeah, hip.
Yeah.
Either way.
Yeah, he's got
Shoulder
both
was the
problems.
past year, yeah. But, yeah, no, they've talked about this, like bringing in somebody for their competition, and I think it's actually going to happen. I don't think this is coach speak. Like, Anthony Richardson has to prove that he can, throw a football accurately, which is you can flash all the talent in the world on certain occasions, but like it's only gonna get you so far. Look at Justin Fields; he's shown some great moments, but still, nobody knows if he should actually be a starter in this league.
Yep.
So, I'm rooting for Anthony Richardson, but I'm also really scared. But I did see that he is now working with Josh Allen's former quarterback trainer. So, if it worked for Josh, I've got hope, but it's still we don't know.
Up in the air.
I'm not an AR fan, but I do have optimism because he still is one of the youngest quarterbacks in the league.
He was the youngest starter in the league this year.
Yeah, he's younger than all these guys. Well,
Definitely younger than Lynn Swan, yeah.
Yeah,
And
a
Joe.
little bit,
I'd say.
But he's younger than Bo Nix, Michael Penix,
Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, give him. He might need benched for a year or two to learn, but there's still hope there.
Yeah.
His physical talent is just.
It's always
gifted.
going to be there.
Yeah. Josh Jacobs was asked if he thinks the Packers need to add a piece in the offseason. He said, quote, I think we need like 3.
This is awesome.
Then he went on to say about the Packers wide receiver core. He said, quote, we need the wide receiver, a real wide receiver. Love the guys we have, but we need a proven number one. And that Dontavian Wicks was tweeting about that. Jaden Reed was tweeting about that.
Yeah.
He had these guys pissed off.
This
But,
is
like,
hilarious.
is he wrong?
No, he's not wrong.
No.
It's just hilarious.
Yeah, I gained a lot of respect for him here.
Yeah.
I think we need like 3.
Yeah. This is funny.
It
Yeah.
is really funny.
Yeah.
I mean, vibes can't be good in that wide receiver room in Green Bay. But, I mean, yeah, he's not.
No.
Not really wrong.
No. Yeah, if Cooper Kupp could go there. Actually, I don't know. They could use like a Devontae Adams reunion.
Ooh.
At least for a veteran voice in the room.
That room feels so crowded.
It is. It's
with
like,
2s and 3s.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so crowded. They need to probably get rid of some of them if they want to bring in a 1.
Yeah.
Like a true 1.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who you get rid of.
It's
though.
like a bunch of guys who would like have a 75 overall rating in Madden.
Yeah.
But there's like nobody above 80.
Yeah, true.
This is what Derrick Henry said about his future. He said, quote, I want to retire a Raven.
Cool.
Sweet.
Chiefs.
He's pretty much retirement age, so.
Yeah, he is. Well, running back years, he definitely is. He's
I don't see why he'd want to leave.
He's a zombie right now.
I don't see why he'd want to leave.
Yeah, seriously, yeah. He had a
Great setup
great
for him,
season.
yeah.
Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce said he's got a lot of good football left. I haven't seen it. Yet whether he plays in 2025 is very much up in the air per rap sheet. I mean, we all saw the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
He clearly didn't look like he should be out on that field.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But as we all said, we don't think he's going away because I don't think he goes out like that.
No. He'll get a rejuvenation in this offseason.
Eagles cornerback Darius Slay said, quote, next year will most likely be my last. I would love for it to be with the Philadelphia Eagles. I think he stays.
Better be.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Yep.
He's still a good voice there for the young guys there.
Yeah, for sure.
The growing belief from scouts and
Good
executives.
podcast, too.
He is
Good podcast.
What's
too.
his podcast?
Oh, that's a tough one. It is good though. I feel like it's just called like Slay or some corner mumbo jumbo, like
Some kind of
something about like a not island, but what is it called? I think it's his own
Big
podcast.
Play Slay podcast.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. No, everybody's got a podcast.
Everyone's got a podcast. Yeah.
Where was I?
Growing belief from
the
scouts.
growing belief from scouts and executives at the Senior Bowl that happened this. How is that? 2 weeks ago now.
2 weeks ago.
Is that Cam Ward will likely be the number 1 pick in the draft per Pete Thamel. Well, reports have came out since then that said, quote, multiple people believe the Titans could trade the first overall pick and look for their quarterback elsewhere, per Dan Graziano. Titans could look to give Will Levis another shot or add a free agent like Sam Darnold or Justin Fields.
Give me more Will Levis memes.
Yeah,
Please.
And then Brian Callahan
Please.
would for sure be fired.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
yeah, seriously, I want more Will Levis. It's hilarious to watch.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Cam Ward being the number 1 pick's interesting.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's very interesting. I mean, we'll get into that later, but like,
Next episode, next week.
yeah,
Talk quarterbacks.
yeah, that's just we'll just leave it at that. That's very interesting that people are thinking he might be one.
I feel like if the Titans don't draft anybody
Yeah.
with some sort of potential, a young buck, I don't know if Brian Callahan keeps his job throughout the entire next season.
I don't think so either.
Because if they do hire Sam Darnold, who he's not old by per se, but he's also not young. He's been around the NFL. People have seen what he does. And if he starts to flame out mid-season, I think Brian Callahan burns down with the ship.
Probably.
So to protect his own job, he has to draft anybody. Hell, go out there and draft Seth Hennigan out of Memphis.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I don't know. Titans are in a tough spot.
they are.
They're in a really tough spot.
There is concern that Colorado head coach Deion Sanders, quote, might be an anchor around the neck of Shedeur Sanders' son and could cause a slip for Shedeur in the NFL draft. Concerns are that the team who drafts Shedeur will be under the criticisms by Deion Sanders weekly if Shedeur is slumping.
This isn't really a surprise. There's a lot of haters out there.
He's very
And
loud.
sure, I mean Deion Sanders is loud, and like he's proven like he's allowed to talk, and he's obviously never said this. Like, there's a lot of people that talk about him, so of course he's going to get people that think this way, and of course it's going to spread like wildfire. So I don't take any of this. I take all this with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is going to be interesting because Shedeur is most likely going to a team that is like bad and wants to improve. And if it does start to slump, like Dion has already been like talked about with the Cowboys, like possibly being their next head coach. So like if that team starts to struggle and the head coach isn't getting it out of Shedeur, then like I feel like Dion is just like, I'll come in and be head coach, and then that could very well happen. I feel like, which is kind of scary for a head coach.
I don't know. Yeah, that's
like obviously that's like a long shot, and that probably doesn't happen. But like,
I don't think it could happen in this day and age in the NFL. But yeah, I guess I understand the concern, but that's just because there's a lot of noise around Dion and Shedeur.
All right, this one's interesting. Colorado's wide receiver / cornerback Heisman winner Travis Hunter will attend the scouting combine as a cornerback.
That's what all the experts wanted him to do. They said he has much more potential as a cornerback, but is he not allowed to attend as both?
I don't. That's what I thought too. Like I wonder if he had to choose. Like only as one. Yeah.
I think that's why he's primarily going to play in the NFL.
Probably.
He might get like, I don't know, 15 snaps a game on offense or something, but he's probably going to be a corner.
Yeah. And finally, the NFL is going to play a regular season game in Melbourne, Australia in 2026 per Adam Schefter. The Rams are expected to play in the first Melbourne game.
That'd be sick.
Boy, yeah, I was going to say, boy, the players are going to hate this because of the travel. But, man, is it going to be awesome.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's going to be beautiful.
Yeah. That's going to be electric down there. I can't imagine. That's I mean, that's NFL.
NFL's
growing.
King. Yeah.
They're king. Yeah. All right, that wraps it up for this week. Packed episode. New stew, Gio. New setup. Hopefully you guys like it. Hopefully the lighting's good. Hopefully all that stuff's good because we're kind of.
Hopefully I have enough storage.
Yeah. So we're gonna wrap this up here. Catch us next week. We're gonna be getting into our Draft Brothers videos again, where we're talking about all the college guys coming out. We're gonna be talking QBs next week, I think, and
our top 10 quarterbacks of this draft class.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely. We'll be breaking down some film, and seeing what we think, and then so on and so forth. We'll be going with players from there on out. So that'll be next week. Tune back in. We appreciate you guys for watching, and catch us next week on the next episode. See you then.
Peace.